You, welcome. It's time to get to work again. I've had some lunch. It is now 2:30 in the afternoon here, local time. We have what? One day, 5 hours and 27 minutes to go to the deadline. And the sound is on. And we're making a video game. Let's take a look at what we have so far. We have this little thing. You have a little spaceship that you can drive around with. It also has a sound and actually music, which I've turned off while I'm working because it will fairly quickly drive you a little bit crazy. I am positive this folder had music very recently. Hang on. Look at that. So I'm just going to turn on the music. Its own little program for now. So yeah, you drive around here with your little spaceship and you can attach to asteroids like so. And you can drill into the asteroid, and if you drill all the way through, it goes boop, and you can blow the asteroid up. And what you want to do is that you want to like cut off all the pink stuff and just keep the green stuff and put it into the little black hole here in the center. And that will give you points or something. And that's basically the game right now. Right before I took a break here, I made it so that the black hole actually rejects stuff if it's not good enough. Like it calculates how pure each little block is. So like this guy right here probably be like 50% or something right now. If I cut it off like here, it's probably like 90 something percent pure now. You can't see my little debug output down here. But the game thought that was weirdly more than 100% pure, or I'm looking at the wrong number. No, it's 100% pure because it slightly elevates the purity rating, but suffice to say it was very good. Because like with the cores being sort of roundish the way they are, it's really hard to cut off everything, because pretty quickly you get something with the. If I do this one, and I do like here, I have to cut like over here, and that will give me this little corner here that is not purely core, so to speak, because that's what I've been calling the green stuff, the core. And you can also do this little swing thing. Throw them in there. Also 100% pure. Pretty cool. So that's what we have right now. We'll listen to this music for a little bit. The music, by the way, is made by my good friend and colleague and mustache wearer, Niklas. Who also did the music and sounds for Rymdkapseln. Hello, Espen Mine, also in the chat, taking part in this little adventure that we have. So the question is what we should do now. One thing I kind of want to do is I want to change a little bit how the black hole behaves, because it feels a little bit boring right now. And Fiery Drake also, hello. So what I want to do is I want to make it so that you can grab an asteroid, and you can do this little swingy motion that I've done before. No, that's not going to work. And now it just goes away. What I kind of want is the asteroid going in, getting like sucked into... Why? Getting sucked into the black hole, like whoop, and it like attaches to the black hole, and it would start spinning a little bit or something. Just because it looks cool, like spin, 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 and if it gets... I'm not sure if I want to do the rejecting bit. It might also be cool just to give you like negative points. If I do, say I do this, and I do that, and I cut it like right here. Now I have a piece that's just junk, that's just the pink part, and I don't want the pink part. I still kind of would like for that to go like in the center and then go away. That would be way cooler. It would also make it so that it would take a little bit of time to get rid of an asteroid, which would be cool. But mostly just feel nicer. So I think that's what we're gonna do now. I think this also would involve increasing the range of that black hole a little bit. So, black hole. Someone was talking to me on Twitter. I'm getting suggestions for the background. This is what I'm getting. This is a pretty good idea. This is basically what I had in mind. I already have code for rendering a star field pretty much like this, which was what I was going to use anyway. So this is pretty much what it will look like. I think this has like a slight little glow on it. This is from Flix. On Twitter. So this is pretty much what I intended to go with. So you're right on point with that. I agree with you. And now I have made some coffee here that I will drink. So right now, the asteroid checks every so often for an asteroid to like attach to or like eat up. Right now that's all that happens. So I'm thinking we'll do this a little bit differently. So we'll make it so that when the asteroid or when the black hole finds an asteroid that it wants, let's call that just object. That will be an actor. When it finds an object that it wants, actually, let's do asteroid for now, and we can, if we want to change that later, we can. So handle check collision countdown complete. If it already has a target asteroid, we just skip that check. We don't need to do it because then we're already like working on an asteroid. And then we go in the update. If asteroid is not, if asteroid is null, then we just return because there's nothing more here to do. And if we do have an asteroid, we want to pull it towards us. And we don't really have to care all that much about other forces. Now the question is, I could either do like a joint, which might be a more reliable way of doing it actually, but that also requires the joint to be attached to a physics body, and the black hole does not have one of those right now. Let's just try. No, let's do a joint. That it is going to work better, and we can make it more powerful if we need to. So we'll just steal this little snippet for the player. I kind of don't like having these functions out here for making the physics bodies. Feels like that's something that should be in the respective classes. And the box thing, we're not going to use that. Ain't gonna be no boxes in this game. So right now it's just the player and the black hole. So that's really fine. That's not something we need to worry all that much about. So we'll change this again. So we will make, instead of doing that, we'll do create circle, and we could probably have saved those coordinates because those are the exact position we wanted it. Create circle at the center of everything with a radius of settings. Black hole radius. We do not want it to be a dynamic body, and it won't need a density, so that's all good. And then we change this constructor declaration, have that be body, that's going not to be necessary anymore. Physics position is going to be body get world center copy. I think this might be actually updating along with body, so make a copy of it just to be safe. Is this compiling now? No, it's not. Oh, how about semicolon? That compiled. Does it run? That's another question. A completely different question, to be honest. This seems to be working. The black hole is in the correct spot. Is it going to do the thing? Oh, it's right, it's colliding with it now. So we will make it go body, get fixture lists, set sensor to true. I'm not entirely sure this is going to work with the joints, but we'll see. Once we get there, Yep, works so far. And here, so all of this stuff is going to happen. We're going to disable the rejection thing. And we're going to do something let's call it attach. Or maybe eat. And we'll move, oops, move that up here, I think. And we will go asteroid. So now we've found the asteroid we want. That means there's no need for looking at more asteroids after this. So we just return from that function. Like we're breaking out of this loop. There's nothing more to do here. And then here we are going to make a joint. That also means we need a reference to the world, but we can make that ourselves. So we'll do that up here. You know what? I'm gonna make my face a little bit bigger in the stream. Everybody likes that. There should still be room to look at the game, I think. Yeah. That's gonna work just fine. Boosty, boosty, boost. Drill, drill, drill. All cool stuff. So here we're going to create a joint. I am going to take a good look at the attacher. I'm just going to steal most of this. Bring it over here. We do not want a Revolut joint. We want, what's the name of just like a, I want a type of joint that I can adjust the distance on going like over time. I can just like make it shorter and shorter until I attracted it all the way in. Yeah, like this joint type right here. Oops. Immediately throw them off screen. Good, excellent work, me. I am not entirely sure that we can adjust the length of that. On the fly, but we'll see. Initialize. Anchor. Whatever, def. Length. That's something. So the first body is going to be like the black hole. And that's not going to move because it's a static body. The second one is going to be the asteroid body. World anchors. So for that, it's going to be body get world center, and the same thing for the asteroid, really. It's going to be attached to the centers of them. I don't think that's going to matter all that much. That's going to do something. Is this something that's still relevant? I don't think it is. And then we go world, create, joint, definition. That is going to be a B2 distance joint, and that is going to need to be casted. We can probably save that. And then joint has stuff on it. Get anchors, get damping. This might not be what we want. Set length. That's cool. So that means we can go. We'll try this first. We'll see what happens. Come with me. Now it should be like attached to the black hole, pretty much. Looks like it. And it can spin freely. It's also pretty cool. Happy with that. So I suppose we can go to black hole. We don't need the purity threshold anymore, but we do want black hole attract rate or something like that. And we can make that 0.2. That's in physics coordinates though, so 0.02 maybe. And then every update we go joint, get length, and we go length minus equals settings black hole attract rate if length is smaller than 0, length is 0, and then we go joint set length like that. Turn these on for a little bit, and I think I'm gonna make the black hole bigger, just because it's easier to see what's going on. Something like that. Come with me. And once it goes inside, sort of grabs it, starts pulling it in. Is it going closer, or is it just going around? I think it is going closer. We can increase the attract rate a little bit. Yeah, here we go. Whoop. It's pretty cool. Try it again. I think the attract rate kind of needs to be accelerating too. So it goes slowly in the beginning. Maybe not. So I suppose we don't really care that much about how long it is right now. Maybe it should just be in fixed, like a fixed time. So we can do one called eats. Cool down. Do new cool down settings, black hole, attract, call it eat time. That does not need to auto reset. Oops, handle eat complete. Means good luck when your function names rhyme with themselves. So here we will probably go if asteroid is null, update that, and then that's a bunch of white space we don't need, and then return. If not, it will go eat cooldown, update with the time delta. We don't care how long the joint is. When this happens, we go eat cooldown, reset, and then we don't really need that, so we don't really need that, and then we can just go quad ease in out, I suppose, eat cooldown ratio inverse times settings black hole radius. This will do something. Or maybe not, because I forgot to actually make one of the constants. Black hole eat time. 1 second. The black hole is super tiny now. Radius. It's a pretty big black hole. Okay, so one problem I saw immediately is that this right here is in pixels, and we need to go into physics. Just making the black hole big enough to encompass all the asteroids was way faster than actually lugging them into the black hole. It looks a little bit funky now because they do that instead. This could still, yeah, I'm still gonna have to deal with that problem. You see that it like goes back out a little bit? It is because of this. So we just need to remember how far it was away, it was when it started. But I have that distance already, so I can just go start distance is joint get length, and I can use that instead. That should make everything look nice and smooth. And then we're going to make the asteroid spin a little bit, and then we're going to make it stay at the center and then just go away. It's going to be cool. The black hole definitely needs to be bigger, like that big or something. How big was that? 89. It's not a black hole, it's a wormhole. Way different. So it goes right. And now this is just gonna stay here forever. Unless I split it in half. Vital Coder just followed on Twitch. Hello. So if it updates and if asteroid is alive, if it's not alive, or if asteroid body is null, we are going to give up on things. We'll just say asteroid is null and we will return, because that means we lost the asteroid somehow. Brad Barons, welcome. And the music we're listening to is the music from the game, which me and Nicholas made yesterday. Mostly Nicholas. See what happens if I do this. Yeah. This means you could, like, if you... I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened there. Why did everything go away? I suppose I should make sure that joint is destroyed too. What's that? This is interesting. You go away. Okay, let's try this again. I want to make the black hole a little bit bigger first. Did I say 99 was a good size? Actually, let's just make it be 99. That's the new size everybody likes. Oh yay, my stream is being stupid. Sorry about that. That means you won't get the quality setting. That's unfortunate. Oh well. This happens from time to time where Twitch will be like, your stream is not a constant bitrate. And apparently it needs to be that because of reasons. And even though it is a constant bitrate, it's set to that, and that's what it's sending. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Either it's on my end or it's on their end. I don't know. I was gonna look into something, right? I was gonna look into this. Physics, render debug. So, the thing I am worried about is that this somehow makes those joints stay around. I think it is when I attach to it, if it's in the black hole. I think that's what makes it go crazy. Maybe having a 0 length joint isn't the best idea in the world. I wouldn't know. Because this seems to be fine. This too, like I can attach to it, I can pull on it, nothing happens. But once it's small enough, I think, and I attach to it, no, still fine. Oh, here we go. And I detach from it. Is that it? Let's try it again. Oh, you're so heavy. Damn asteroid. Ripped. I mean, in a way, there's no sense in being able to be attached to an asteroid that's in the black hole. But it's kind of a cool thing that you actually have to detach from it. And plus, even like that, it's not good. I wonder what's happening. I have a sneaking suspicion that a 0 length joint isn't making the physics engine super happy. Sunlight at night. Hello. Collide connected. Let's make that false. Def. Damping ratio. I really don't know. What does it say about damping ratio? It says nothing. Really? No damping, critical damping. Okay, what's the default? 0. Let's set it to 1, see what happens. Frequency, hertz. Okay. Also 0. I gotta read up on this. I don't know what to set these values to, but we'll try something like 5 and 0.5. See what happens. I really don't think this is what's making it break, but might do something else that's cool, so we can try it anyway. It's also interesting that it only happens with the smaller ones, so something's funky. And it's not crashing. That's kind of cool. What if that actually fixed it and made it look cooler all at once? That would be a great success for mankind. Look at the flare spinning like crazy in there. Seems to have fixed it. What if I make the damping ratio like 0.1 and the frequency like 2? Fiery Drake says that my stream's pretty great. Thank you. I try. I really do try, because this would be way faster if I didn't talk to you all the time. But I think it's a lot of fun to have everybody take part in what's happening. So I'll gladly spend that extra little bit of time. What the? Okay, that's gonna need looking into. Yeah, that seems to have fixed it. So now let's make things spin as it goes into the black hole. Connect to target WebGL. Canvas, I think, is what they're using for rendering. Or like Haxi itself is like, you can make it JavaScript, so the programming language itself doesn't care, because JavaScript can do WebGL, so that's not a problem in and of itself. OpenFL that I'm using, I think, uses Canvas for rendering. We can actually try making an HTML5 build right now. Copy from. Of everything you get upset about, it's copy from. That is a very strange omission. Here it is in my web browser. Doesn't really seem to be working though. It's upset about the sounds. Oh, it's because it wants OGG files for the sounds. Okay. How about me disabling all the sounds? For a little bit, like that. Maybe this will work. Well, stop loading sounds. They are not a thing. What is it even looking for? Unless HTML5. I love how I'm like, use the WAV files in this directory, and it's like, okay, I will load those OGG files for you right away. Hey, something's happening. Still the sounds. I normally don't do HTML5 builds, so my stuff I had lying around probably does not deal super well with all this. This is just gonna be me breaking the game. Okay, before we mess everything up in a big way, because I do want to try the HTML5 build. I just want to commit this first. I'm going to try a Windows build. Yeah, that works. Sound effects work too. We'll commit that. Whoops. Music files. Not entirely sure how I managed to miss those before, but here we are. We can use that. Just do black hole stuff. Look, what kind of mysterious tangent you sent me on. Let's do HTML5 and sound manager. Just do if HTML5 and then we just do return here. The same thing down here for play. I suppose we do that. And just return null. Nope. Still upset about something. Cannot read property get of null. Sound manager play. Oh, I think I know. We'll get it. Hey! It's the game in my web browser. It's really twitchy and weird, which I don't really know why, but it is running. Come on! Whoop. Yeah, physics seemed to work fine. Drilling also seems to work just fine. That's pretty cool. I don't think anyone is gonna get this build. I think this is gonna stay on my computer. And I could probably make this look just as good as the other versions. If I put the time in. Someone's following me. Kengi. Series of digits. Welcome. So now let's get rid of all these HTML5 hacks. Discard. Yes. So the asteroid. No, sorry, the black hole here. I want to spin the asteroid like crazy when it gets sucked in. And I probably want to make it take a little bit longer each time. Let's say we make that 1.5 seconds. Eat, spin, maybe. And this can be like 0.03, maybe. And we will go here. Go asteroid, body, angular. No, apply torque. That's what we want to do. And then we want to go settings, scale force to the asteroid body, and the force is going to be settings, black hole something, eat spin. No? Oh, did I get them the wrong way around? That's what I get for not actually reading the... Let's change this to be a Windows build instead. Come with me. It's not spinning very much. Yeah, that's gonna need to be bigger. Like, this is, at the very least, how much I want it to spin. Let's say the range is like from 3 to 15. Or why the hell not? Let's do 40. That's a range. Come with me, asteroid. And then it's gonna be cool. Is it slowing down? I think it is. It's been like crazy. I want it to spin. It's not spinning fast enough. Asteroid. Okay, I think the asteroids all have asteroid collection, I think, is the one responsible for creating them here. So we have 2 more. We got asteroid, linear damping, and this is angular damping. And they are right now, linear damping is 0.1 and angular damping is 0.4. So 0.1, and we'll just lower this to like 0.2 or something. Which I think is going to make everything feel a bit different. Might be easier to lug the asteroids around. Just feel a little bit easier to move them now. Probably gonna spin more. I am spinning like crazy though. Yeah, it slows down a little bit when I'm attached. Quite a bit it slows down when I'm attached. I think that's because of the player also having damping. Doesn't... This is a little bit why you don't want that much damping. Because it's weird. Unrealistic. So what happens if we set both the linear damping? Actually, I named these wrong. They should be asteroid. Because this is the way I tend to group my variables. I set them to 0, see what happens. Make it a little bit more bouncy. They're moving a lot faster now. It's actually a little bit scary. Why are you so far out? Dear asteroids, what are you doing? Okay, so this changed a lot of things. All the asteroids are leaving. Distribute, attract. Make that quite a bit stronger. See what that does. Hello, Arc Games. I am currently busy ruining my beautifully tweaked physics. This improved upon that situation a little bit. They are asteroid orbit force here. That needs to go way lower. Still too much. Whatever. If I try to get one of these, I don't really have all that much to say about where it's going, but it does feel a lot more responsive. Look at that thing spin. That's perfect. I'm gonna attach to it. Whee! That's pretty cool. That's kind of what I wanted. I'm gonna lower the spin force to like something like that. I'm gonna use the range on these guys. So for this, it's going to be asteroid orbit force between like 0.004 to 0.0002. That's small force from 0.02 to maybe 0.08. Yeah, it's box 2D. There is a like a pure Haxi physics engine whose name I am actually blanking on right now. One second, I'm gonna check. Well, it doesn't really matter that much. I honestly can't remember, but there's one that's probably better for Haxi purposes. It's just like I'm familiar with Box 2D from previously. These asteroids are a lot crazier now. Real killer. Scary. Welcome. It's a lot more chaotic, for sure. This guy. Boing, 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 boing. So I'm thinking we can bring back a little bit of damping. Maybe lower that a little bit. I might decide to just go back on this entire change. Because it was, like, I like the way it was before. grab this guy, pull him in here. He wants to go out there pretty damn fast. So maybe that's the problem. Distribute. Is that the distribute attract force? Yeah, 0.02 right now. Distribute, repel. Which one's which? This one. What if I put that up really high? What happens then? You stay apart more. I don't know. Is this better? I think they're moving a little bit too fast now. They are asteroids after all. They need some... Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back on these. Just I did not care for them. That's all cool. Asteroid collection. So the linear damping should be 0.1 and the angular damping should be 0.4. 0.1, 0.4. I think angular damping can go down a little bit. I don't think that should be a problem. That can stay. Asteroid orbit force. Discard that change. Asteroid distribute attract force. Discard that change. And then restitution. Should be back to 0.1. Can't do that with the thing. Just need to save too. Yes, this should have us back where we were. Probably can keep that at like 0.8 or something. See what that feels like. That's cool. So for the black hole, so we really got two different countdowns. We got like the attract one, and we got the destruction one. But I am thinking we can go. So you don't really need two of them. I could just say that, like, oh, half of the time is spent attracting, and half of the time is spent waiting before it goes away. But let's just try this once. See what that feels like. I think it's going to be too fast, because this is just going to attract it and then immediately make it go. But it might be cool. Zoom. Yeah, it's too fast. Way too fast. So just to make things easier on myself, I'm gonna do one called attract. And one called eat progress. And then we'll rename this function attract. Then we can go if attract progress complete. Is that a function? Yes, it is. We don't want that. Is completed. Then we do this little bit. Actually, we do this all the time. Return. And that is going to be called something like that. And then we're going to have a friend of this guy called black hole time eat. This could probably just be called black hole asteroid spin. Called eat progress. That's new cooldown time eats, right? Yeah, handle. This should be handle attract complete, which this function shouldn't really do that much, I don't think. And we will have another one called handle eat complete. This will make the asteroid actually fade. Cool, cool, cool. And down here, we do eat progress, updates, delta time. Yeah. Swing it in. Come on. Yes. That's way cooler. Time eats needs to be a lot longer, like twice. Get this guy. Slurp. I think even longer still. And that could maybe be a little bit shorter instead. I have to remember to actually reset the game between. Yeah. So maybe 1 second. I kind of like the full time for attracting, and then maybe like 5 for that. Another thing that I want to do fairly soon is make it so that it actually creates a bunch of players one for every set of controls that I've defined. So right now I have 2 players on the keyboard that also map to the 2 players that I spawn that you can control with controllers. And there's really no reason you want to share controls. So I'm just going to do 4 players instead. And whenever you touch the controls on something, like either the keyboard or the gamepad, it will spawn you or like make you visible. I think that's a much more practical way of doing it. So here in the little beginning thing, I'm going to make 4 players. And I am going to do this. 4 players. Players count. It'll be 4. It might be smarter to just do this. Get rid of player count. Just use the input players length. This would just create 1 player for every set of inputs. And I will make these players like disabled until you press something, which is, I'm not entirely sure how to do that just yet. I suppose we can make something like is controlled, which is a bool that is false, and we will make this maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe, just maybe, it's better to do something like for input in input what kind of events would this guy give off? Button. Down. So it goes like that. And when you press a button, it goes E targets. Does it have a player? What the hell does an inputter event have? Has the index. Right, so I can go var player is an inputter player, which is the target of that. And then I can check if that player already exists, we don't do anything. If it is in fact a new player. We go like that. Do I have a variable here for the player? That's silly. I think it's time to try this music. It's good and everything, but that's like an hour of that music. You think that will suffice? I'd listen to something on my own. Unfortunately, due to copyright stuff, I can't really play this music on stream. So what was I doing? Yeah, I was making it so that it doesn't really create a player until you press a button. Unexpected var. I can accept that. So nothing happens until boop, I'm in. And until boop, I'm in. It's not perfect because you actually have to press a button, but we can add in maybe that's a smarter way of doing it. So I don't do, because movement makes more sense than the buttons maybe, but maybe not. Let's just keep it to the buttons for now. And I suppose we can also do, like if there are no players, the game would just not run. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Maybe that's unfair. It's a cool kind of start screen thing. Having it just spawn in like this. It's like, oh, blah, blah, blah game. There'll be a logo here. And you have to press to actually do shit. That's cool. I'm happy with that. It's going to be a little bit annoying starting out when I'm testing because I'm going to forget that I have to press things. But this just instantly added 4-player support to the game. I don't have 2 controllers, but you get the gist of it. Another minor annoyance is I tried this on some friends yesterday, and the way the game's hooked up is that you need to actually face an asteroid and press to attach to it, like that. So if I'm near the asteroid but not facing it, it won't attach to it. So that's probably the next thing I am going to fix. But first, let's commit these changes. Smart player addition. So, in the attacher, it goes activate, sets the target to null, it gets a point within the range of the thing, it does a raycast. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do a little sweep around the player. So it will start at the front. I mean, ideally, let me illustrate for you. Why does it say offline? Mysterious. Okay, so let me restart the stream for 1 minute and I'll be back because I need to fix the constant bitrate thing anyway. I'll be back in 1 minute.